Quando Rondo survived the night that King Von died in 2020, but he knew that it put a target on his back. Now he's in the headlines again after getting shot at and having 2 homies killed within 24 hours. Here's what's going down. On Thursday, August 18th, news broke that a 22-year-old in Savannah had been shot and killed around midnight. The cops responded to a report of shots fired on the 800 block of West 38th Street and found Phoenix Odom dead on the scene. Odom, who is also known as Fendi, was Quando's homie. It ain't clear who shot him or why, but less than a day later, Quando got caught in a shooting that left another one of his homies dead. Quando was with his crew at a gas station in Los Angeles when 3 dudes pulled up and started letting off shots. Early reports said Quando got hit, but it looks like he actually avoided getting shot. Unfortunately, his homie Lil Pap wasn't as lucky and ended up dying from his injuries after getting rushed to the hospital. When news broke that Quando was shot, rumors started flying that he ain't survived the hit. But a woman who claims to be his aunt started posting updates on her Instagram stories and said, "I love everyone, but please give my family time to call me. You guys are clogging my line. We're fine. Maybe I should reword it. He's fine. I spoke with him myself." Then a video of the scene started going around online that shows Quando screaming while the cops pull his homie out of the black Escalade they was riding in. The police say it looks like a targeted hit. Lieutenant John Radke with the LAPD told ABC7, "We don't know why or how this happened. All we know is that's the victim's vehicle. They pulled up, they were pumping gas, and it looks like they probably finished pumping gas, and the suspects approached from the alley, got out of the car, and started shooting at those victims. The shooter smashed off in a white car, but nobody knows who was behind the hit yet." Witnesses on the scene say that the cops detained at least 1 person at the gas station, but Radke told ABC7 that it may have been someone in Quando's crew who was just being questioned. The next day, Quando's team put out a statement that said Quando was involved in a shooting yesterday evening, Friday, which resulted in the untimely death of another young man's life. He himself didn't sustain any injuries during the shooting and is safe. It's been a rough week for Quando, but at least he made it out alive. Just a few days before all this went down, he tweeted, "Once it happened, I ain't gonna be mad because I already been prepared for it. Really, really." He's talked about how Von's death painted a target on his back before, and how clubs don't even want to book him anymore because of the violence. Last year, he told All Around TV, "Nobody want to book me because they're terrified. That's the truth. So many people calling like, I wish the fans let that shit go. As long as y'all talk about it, they're hyping shit up." In the same interview, he talks about all the death threats he got after his boy Lil Tim allegedly killed Von. "However some shit come to me, that's how I'm about to go about that shit. Death threat all you want to, bro. F that shit. That's just words, my n***. Go do an action." Back in May 2021, Quando and his homies were hanging out in a parking lot in Georgia when someone opened fire on him. Quando ain't get hit, but one of his friends caught a bullet to the hand and was taken to the hospital. Nobody was ever arrested for the shooting, but Quando has plenty of enemies who could have done it. Last month, rumors started going around that Quando was in the hospital. A fake social media post said, "Pray for me, in the hospital fighting for my life." Fans were trying to figure out the situation, but Quando let everyone know the rumors were cap. He posted a picture of himself sitting in the plane with the caption, "That shit fake as hell. I don't even type like that." A few weeks before that, Quando hopped on social media to brag about the $1 million that NBA YoungBoy gifted him after he beat his gun case. Quando and his girl had just split up, but the M from YoungBoy helped him get over it. He wrote on Instagram, "I give it 2 weeks after the breakup, you gonna be getting but I ain't tripping, I seen it all. Lil Top just gave me $1 million last week, plus I already had a couple hundred. I can care less about a I got a bag." After YoungBoy gave him $1 million, Quando hopped on IG Live and aired out a rapper named Shine Willis for allegedly stealing 10 bands from him. According to him, he was gonna sign Shine to his label and brought 10 racks to give her as a bonus, but she just snatched it out of his girl's hands and took off. Quando went on a massive rant aimed at Shine and said, "Stupid ass quit acting like you took some shit from me. You knew what the was going on. A nigga was trying to sign your stupid ass." Quando made it sound like Shine stole money that was already gonna be hers, but she hopped online and shared her side of the story. She claims that Quando disrespected her at a dice game and that's why she took the money. She wrote on Instagram, "I wasn't gonna speak on this, but y'all got me f***ed up. Let's get some facts straight. Quando was never gonna sign me. LOL, how the f*** that work? I'm a loyal person. I don't snake nobody. If I ever get out of line, it's cause a got out of line first. Y'all believe in that can't even remember what happened 20 minutes ago cause he on Xans." Later, a phone call leaked with Quando talking to one of Shine's homies and saying that he wasn't trying to get killed or go to jail over 10 racks. He calmed down later and wrote on Instagram, "I made myself a fool today, arguing with some people who will risk their life for money and fame. That shit crazy. Clout a hell of a drug. They're trying to get where I'm at, so I won already. They literally posting their IG views. I get that in 5 seconds, and they screenshot all our messages just in case so they can run a 12. Quando's had a wild year so far, but his whole life's been a roller coaster. He grew up in Savannah, Georgia, and was raised by his great aunt after his parents lost custody. They was having an argument, and somehow in the middle of it, a hot iron fell off a table and landed on Quando's leg. CPS got involved after Quando went to the hospital, and he ended up living with his great aunt, who he called Grandma. He caught his first charge when he was just 11 years old after he hit his little cousin, and his grandma called the cops. He was charged with simple battery and put on probation, but he kept failing drug tests for smoking weed and ended up going to a detention center. They let him out after 7 days, but he failed another drug test and got locked up again for 14 days. The second time he got released from the detention center, they put him on house arrest with an ankle monitor. He tried to sneak out after the monitor's battery died, but he got caught and was sentenced to a strict military-style camp. But they couldn't control Quando either, and he ended up getting sent back to the detention center for fighting too much. He got out of the detention center again and was still on house arrest for 60 days. Instead of just waiting it out, Quando cut off his ankle monitor and went on the run. He stayed with different friends and family members, but eventually ended up back at his grandma's place, and she called the cops on him again. This time, he was booked in the detention center for 3 months, but they let him go without an ankle monitor after he served his time. When he got out this time, Quando got caught stealing a cap gun with his homies and was locked up in juvie for 4 months. And by the time he got out, he was like 13 or 14 and ready to dive even deeper into the streets. He dropped out of school in the 6th grade and started robbing houses in his neighborhood. After a while, he wanted to take things to the next level, so he decided to hit homes in richer neighborhoods instead. But on his first robbery in a nice area, he tripped a silent alarm and ended up getting booked for 15 months in juvie on a burglary charge. This is when Quando says he really got wild. After he got out for the burglary charge, he started gangbanging and carrying guns. He got booked in county jail for gun charges and other crimes, and it looked like it was only a matter of time before he'd catch a more serious charge. After that, Quando decided to switch up how he was moving and focus on music. He had been singing and rapping his whole life, and his track I Remember blew up while he was still in the streets. After dropping a few more singles and a mixtape, Quando became the first dude to sign with NBA YoungBoy's Never Broke Again label in June 2018. Linking up with YoungBoy was huge for his career, and Quando dropped 2 more mixtapes and his first album. It looked like Quando had finally found his way out of the streets. But then, in November 2020, he was involved in the death of one of the hottest rappers in the game. On November 6, 2020, Quando and his crew were outside a nightclub in Atlanta. Surveillance footage shows King Von walking up with his homies and starts swinging on Quando. And then a fight breaks out and someone starts letting off shots. Von got shot and died, and Quando's homie Lil Tim ended up getting arrested for his murder. It's still not clear exactly why Von had beef with Quando in the first place, but it tragically ended with Von being killed and Quando's homie booked on a murder charge. He knew that being involved with Von's death would cause issues, and now he's lost 2 more homies back to back. At this point, there's no evidence to suggest the shooting was related to King Von, but hopefully Quando can move past the situation and stop losing people to violence. This story's still developing, so tap in for updates.